It's 8:23, 37 degrees outside the Appletree Automotive Superstore studios. Welcome into First News on 570. Glad to have you along for the ride this morning. He joins me every Monday at 8:23 from Tarleton State University. He's the head of the Department of Government and Legal Studies. And we will be talking about Dr. Nathaniel Cogley, and we're going to talk about the balance of power in the Senate and kind of looking ahead to 2020 and how that might shake out. Morning, Doctor. How are you, sir?
Good morning. I thought the Panthers scored on that last drive. They should have had an opportunity for a two-point conversion.
Daggone right, Doc. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I mean, the line is part of the end zone, so it seems like he pierced it. I thought that was a touchdown.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to find much of an argument from this audience, that's for sure. So, Doc, let's talk about the balance of power in the Senate, because it's not necessarily a surefire thing when it comes down to 2020. I mean, it obviously could go either direction. What are you looking at, and what are you kind of paying attention to right now when it comes to this?
Well, right now the Republicans have 53 senators, and of course, not every senator's up for election every 2 years. Only a third of them are up. So you want to look at that map, and currently there's 33 regular Senate seats and 2 special seats up.
Okay.
And when we look at that map, there's one Democrat very vulnerable. That's Doug Jones in Alabama. And we just see Jeff Sessions just jumped in. So the Republicans will probably gain a seat. On the other side, we see 5 Republicans that are on defense here. That would be McSally in Arizona, Gardner in Colorado, Collins in Maine, Ernst in Iowa, and your own Tillis in North Carolina. In the Democrats' best-case scenario, they can gain these 5 seats and then thus net 4 gain for a 51 control of the Senate. But that means a total sweep. They have to sweep Arizona, Colorado, Maine, Iowa, North Carolina. Iowa especially, I don't think they have much shot. Joni Ernst is going to win re-election. So the best the Democrats can hope for is a tie, and then they win the presidency, vice presidency can cast tie-breaking votes. But this is pretty good odds that the Republicans hold the Senate here.
So now, Cory Gardner, I know he's in kind of a little bit of hot water out there in Colorado. That's the one that I seem to have heard about the most. Yeah,
and if you remember, former Colorado Governor Hickenlooper was running for president. He dropped out. He's going to run for Senate. And, of course, Hickenlooper knows how to win statewide, vast resources. So that's going to be a tough one for the Republicans to defend.
And then, of course, our very own Tom Tillis, he's got a primary challenger here. And then, of course, if he makes it through that, I mean, he's got an uphill battle as well.
Well, I assume you know that case even better than me. You're on the ground over there. But, yeah, that's one that's really the Republicans are on defense. I do think it's likely that the Republicans are able to hold one of these, or at least the Democrats might net 3, in which case it's tied. And if Trump wins the re-election, the Republicans hold tie-breaking vote. What I think is interesting is a lot of the Democrats are running on all this great legislation they're going to pass. Is it going to be Medicare for all or Medicare for all who want it, or their wealth tax? Odds are the Republicans hold the Senate. They're not going to be able to sign any of this stuff. So it's very interesting that becomes the wedge point in their presidential debates, when the odds that they're going to have a president who can actually sign legislation out the Senate is very unlikely.
How do you feel about the balance of power in the House and how that might shape up?
For a president to gain a House, you have to go back to 1948 and Truman. So it would be a very historical moment for Trump to gain a House. I would think that the House would be safe for the Democrats. The fact that I've also thought Nancy Pelosi would not actually move to an actual articles of impeachment vote, because that's very difficult for those Democrats representing Trump districts in there. I will note she has yet to actually do a vote on impeachment. What they did is an inquiry vote. So it would be very unusual for the Republicans to gain the House at this point. We're likely looking at divided government going forward. Oh,
lovely. Isn't that what we were all hoping for? My guest this morning, as he is each and every single Monday from Tarleton State University, is the head of Department of Government and Legal Studies, Dr. Nathaniel Cogley. And, Doctor, we'll look forward to catching up with you next week.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
You got to take care.